Hey folks, I see all your eggplants, so obviously Boozy's stream is finished up. Thank you for joining me. I am Buddy Goodboy Esquire, and you are watching Saved by the Londo Bell. This is my stream where I build a Gundam, Gunpla, robot model, whatever, what have you. But I thought before we get started, I'd just like to kind of give you some background on the one that I'm working on today. What I'm working on right now is the Nu Gundam Heavy Weapons System. Now this is a mecha by one of my absolute favorite mecha designers of all time. So let me show you a little bit of his work. See if I can get that pulled up here. So Yutaka Izubuchi is the mecha designer behind, among other things, Patlabor, which is widely acclaimed as one of the most realistic mecha shows on TV. It's the story of a police unit that uses mecha in mecha-related crimes in a sci-fi universe that's hard science fiction where people have this technology and they use it for crime. So with his background in his family's background in shipbuilding, Yutaka Izubuchi has an eye for mechanical detail that is just amazing. So this is the main unit of the series, the Ingram. So this is the patrol labor that the police force uses to fight crime. So this is one of my very favorite mecha of all time, because those sweeping, graceful 80s curves, it looks like a truck or a very smooth Japanese car. And a thought was put into the internal design of the thing, like how it actually works, how it moves around, this plays through in the show. And I think that Izubuchi's background in mechanical design really helps show that off. So, 1988, he was working on Gundam Double Zeta, the third Gundam series, and was brought on late in the game to work on the sequel movie to that, Char's Counterattack. He had less than a month to design all of the mecha for the entire movie, which turned out some of the absolute best ones the Gundam franchise has ever seen, including the one that I'm working on tonight, the most popular Gundam in all of Japan, the Nu Gundam. So this is series star Amuro Ray's final mobile suit. I think this particular drawing of it, this painting here, is just amazing. Look at all this design. It's simple, but at the same time it's complex enough not to be boring. It's got mechanical detail. Like, look at those elbow joints, man. Those look like they could actually work. The arms look like they're pieces of panels of armor that would be put on by machines. I just absolutely love this design. I think it's so sweet. Yeah, this is pretty much the iconic Gundam. It's, like I said, it's the most popular one in Japan. And since they're the ones who make these kinds of decisions, it's basically the figurehead of the entire franchise. At least until Gundam Seed came out. That's another story. That turned out to be wildly popular as well. So, so that's kind of the background. This is, my connection to this particular one. So let's go ahead and get started. So I've gone ahead and clipped out all the parts for this and sanded all of them down. So at this point I'm just going to be assembling, but I've got them broken down into little plastic baggies by runner. So runner A, B, C, all the way through F, and G and H are off camera here. I'm going to get to these if we get to these, but I'm going to try to get the Nu Gundam itself assembled tonight. And then, if you take a look on this picture here, the heavy weapon system, that giant gun, the much larger shield, the armor attachments on here, I'm going to see if I can get those done as well. If I can't, no big deal. Now, like any good TV chef, I've gone ahead and prepared some of the pieces in advance. So I've got all of the weapons built here. But let's go ahead and get started with the torso. I like the torso part because they're pretty obvious. They can't be anything else. Not too hard to get them picked out of the bunch here. And let's see. I need the shoulder joint parts in here, and that is going to be in this bag of gunmetal pieces from runner F, assuming I can find the right ones. Yeah, that looks right. So how are you all doing tonight? So we have Disco Stew in the audience here. Thank you, Disco Stew, for joining us. Okay. I need a black piece to go on top of these shoulder joints here. That should be pretty simple. They're just little flat pieces. So why am I not finding them? Aha! Caught inside another piece, that's why. And we need another gunmetal piece here. This is going to be the neck joint. That's pretty hard to mistake for anything else. And let's see, what else do we need? The two lower torso segments. These are just going to sandwich together. There we go. And last but not least, I need to cut out the I'm not sure what, I guess polyethylene is the material they're made out of, but polycaps. So these are going to be the pieces that hold everything together. So I need 2 piece 11s. Snip and snip. The heavy weapons platforms aren't necessarily the star of the show in Gundam. This particular movie, the heavy weapons system didn't actually appear in it. It appeared in the tie-in toy models. So I know that this show is absolutely a big toy commercial. But on the other hand, toys are pretty cool, so I'm not going to complain too much about it. In this particular case, the heavy weapons system was released after the fact. You know, so they can get nerds like me to pay a couple extra bucks for the model of that. Actually, villains wind up being more, they tend to have the heavy weapons units more often than the heroes in Gundam. It's kind of like how James Bond always carries around a Walther PPK, which is a very small gun with a little stopping power. It's more interesting if your hero feels outgunned. Here. Got some of the wrong parts here. One of the problems about cutting all these parts out in advance is that sometimes you are going to get confused as to which pieces are which. So there's a lot of these that look the same, but not too bad. So stop me if you see another one of these lying around. There we go. So these pieces right here are shoulder joints. They're going to go inside the chest piece right here, and they're going to allow the arm to rotate up and down. So the reason we have a little black piece up here is so it can blend in with the rest of the chest section. Let's get this neck piece in place here. I'm a little lost here. I'm not sure how to get this in. Okay, I had the piece upside down. That's why I couldn't figure out where it goes here. Getting the polycaps to line up with the pegs inside, there we go. It can be a little bit difficult sometimes, but we got it. We did it together as a team. Let's see, what else do we need here? We need a little piece to cap off the chest here, and that is going to be not this. There you are. Okay, we need this red piece right here. This is going to fit right in here to cover what would be, on a more detailed model, the cockpit hatch. At this point, we got two different choices. There are two small yellow chest vents that go on the front of the torso here. Now we can either... I'm going to go ahead and put these in right now. If we don't wind up doing the heavy weapon system parts, then it'll still look finished. But to install the heavy weapon system parts, you pop out these yellow chest vents on here and plug in the heavy weapons unit chest armor there. Alright, so that's the torso done right there. Let's see, the next pieces we can start to work on are the backpack. So that's going to need these two pieces here, I believe. There's a small piece with a hinge on here that's going to plug into the backpack. That I almost dropped. So that's going to go... Where is that? Yeah, there we go. A slot right there for it. So I'm just going to pop this in here, and hopefully my big sausage fingers don't get in the way. They might. I may need some tweezers for this, or somebody with smaller hands come over. There we go. Now I gotcha. Alright, that wasn't too bad, was it? Stick these two together so I don't forget and get them confused with anything else. This is going to sit on the top of the backpack like nope. There we go. I think I put that piece in upside down. So, it's always handy to have some kind of part separator. Normally I use a knife, but I'm trying not to cut holes into this one, so I'm not gonna use my knife on this one, I don't think. Okay, so what we now have on top of the backpack here, this is going to be a weapons rack. It's going to have a whole bunch of things hanging off of its back here, but this is a piece that you can ratchet it into a couple of different positions on here, but it's very sturdy, at least so far. And I'm missing a piece. Let me grab that real quick. It's going to pop into the top of the backpack there. And the beam saber holder is going to be right here on the right side. So you can actually, you've got some extra parts to swap these around, to put a second weapons rack on the other side here. But I'm just going to leave it like this for right now because I want to see it asymmetrical, because I think that looks pretty cool. So we're going to hop over to runner D right here, get a couple of pieces to fill in some gaps on the backpack. If you can see me chewing on my tongue as I'm concentrating, that's That's a family trait. It's not just me. There we are. Of course, the first two that I pull out of this box are out of this bag are the two smallest ones in there. Couldn't make it any easier for me, could you, pieces? Alright, so these are going to plug in where? There we go. The last pieces that we need on the backpack are going to be jets, and if I can find those, we are good to go. These are from Runner F. Oh, that's right, these tiny ones, these 4 tiny ones. 2, 3, and had it and lost it. Four. We're golden. And these are just going to slide into the slots in the back here. I think I really like the way this one has been engineered. This particular kit, so far, is going to pop together easily, but it's also going to, it can be disassembled pretty easily and separated out by colors for painting. So these white boxes that I wound up putting in the middle here, those slide out easily. These thrusters on the back, these are going to be a piece of cake to get back out. Getting them in, well, that's hard. But again, I've got big hands, so big fingers. So yeah, some of these wind up having to break some pieces and then reassemble them in order to take it apart for painting. I don't like having to do that, but I mean, it is what it is. You wind up doing what you have to do, and it's, besides, these are toys, they're supposed to be fun. Let's see here. We have the head to build next. So this one is a very straightforward head. Almost unexpectedly so for me, because unlike most other units of this grade, the head pretty much comes as one piece. Now normally you'd have to get 2 pieces and sandwich them together. You'd have a very visible seam line in between the 2 parts, but this one doesn't even have that. You just slide the little faceplate in and out. And again, it makes it super easy to take the faceplate out for some detail painting. This just makes me really happy. I like that a lot. Okay, and we're going to use up most of the tiny pieces in the Runner A bag here. So if I can find the... Yes, here we go. One of the most important parts of any Gundam, and one of the design aesthetics that they decided to stick with for some reason, is that most hero units have a little red beard. Look at that little goatee, man. That's the cutest thing you ever saw. So that's just going to slide well, let me take a look at this real quick. You might not be able to see it, but I'm going to try and focus. Right up at the top here, you see there's 2 eyes on there. Now, in the movie that they're in, they're actually green on a black background. So obviously I'm going to have to do a little bit of detail work on this if I want it to look screen accurate. So I'm going to wind up doing that, but I'm going to do it off camera here. But this one makes it very easy to put this one in and pop it back out. So if I try to paint it like this, I just get like black paint everywhere all over the helmet. So being able to pop these apart, obviously that makes it much easier and cleaner. Alright, and let's see. think I might be missing a piece here, but I'm not sure. Okay, yeah, you see this little black diamond on the blade antenna up at the top here? I am missing that for some reason, but I'm not gonna let that stop me. It's around here somewhere. Anyway, it's a simple enough piece. If I don't have it, then I can always make one. So I'm just going to stick this on here. And despite that missing piece on there, I'm going to call the head done. This is shaping up pretty nicely for having a... Yes, their beards definitely look pharaonic. I'm not sure if that's an intentional design choice, but later on in the series, when they started doing, like G Gundam and Gundam Wing, where their pilots were supposed to be from somewhere specific, they did wind up putting that in there intentionally and playing up the fact that their beards looked pharaonic. So a couple of Egyptian and Arab Gundams that were released in the series have, like, you know, very distinct beards. It's very cool. Now, where were we? Ah, yes, Australia. Okay, let's get some arm units built. So we're going to be working a lot with runner F. Sparf, the Maganak Corps from Gundam Wing, I can't remember if they had beards on their units either, but I know most of the pilots did. So that's a good question. I'm going to have to go back to the tapes on that one, and I don't have the Maganak model, so I couldn't tell you off the top of my head. They did release, I think, like 36 different variants on it as a box set. So you had to pay $500 and you get 36 Maganaks, and you'd get parts to customize each of them to be distinct and unique, and it's insane. I mean, I'm addicted to this stuff, and I wouldn't go that far. Well, you know, if somebody actually did, I'd love to see it, but that would just be really expensive. Alright. Okay, I'm looking for one more of these. These. I wouldn't go that far yet. Well, Sparf, I have, don't get me wrong, I have a modicum of pride. Some. Not much, but it's out there. And if I don't have that, I've at least got shame. Aha! There we go. So we're going back to our polycap runner here. And these joints are going to go into the shoulders. They're going to connect it over to the torso. Put those over there with the shoulder pieces here. Polycap 10 is going to go into the forearm. It's going to hold the hands in. Yeah, Stuart, yeah, that's something I'd like to do more of, is making my own custom parts. I've got a couple of like sheets of just plain, you know, styrene plastic. At some point I'm going to wind up cutting this up and like making, you know, new armor details, weapons and stuff. I'd like to eventually just build like scratch build an entire thing from the ground up, but I'm not that good yet. So that's not going to be on the radar for a while. Okay. And look at the forearm pieces. Those are one, and it's in here too. Okay, so I'm going to start with the shoulder here. Having some fat finger problems, that's okay. My mom tells me I'm special. There we go, got it. Yeah, having having thick fingers and building Gundam is like doing it on hard mode, so I'm taking this as just a test of my skill. Okay, shoulder joints are complete. Let's do an elbow here. Okay, and that right there, that's that elbow joint that I was talking about on the design for the Nu Gundam earlier that I liked so much. You know, just it's a little thing in there that looks mechanical. It's just a nice detail. I like that a lot. You may wonder, is it healthy or sane to be so far into these things that I'm able to distinguish the mechanical designer by what type of elbow joint they use? Yes, I'm a model of mental health. Yeah, let's see where we go. Which end of this is up? Okay, these were all the upper arm this whole time. That makes more sense. Add it in backwards. Normally, I don't know if that would make a difference, but there's a little stoppage on here. It's a little notch that sticks out. That would keep the elbow from bending. So I'm just going to pop this back in the other way. And there we go. Full 90-degree bend. Yes, a model of mental health. That was 100% intentional. I didn't just back up into it accidentally. Yes, I am hilarious. Thank you. It's something from the before times. Don't worry too much about it. So if you're watching this on YouTube and you cannot read the chat, too bad. Alright, let's see. So pop that in there. And next we got the forearms. There is a little piece that's going to go down at the bottom of the forearms here. It's going to be sort of, I don't know, I guess a wrist cuff. those all sorted. And the left arm comes with the, no, right arm. It's the back of the hand there. And the left arm has an emergency beam saber holder installed on it, so that is going to be this part right here. And I'm looking for a tiny, tiny joint. It's going to go inside the beam saber holder. So wish me luck. Yay! Got it in one. Okay. Is that piece all sorted there? And I went ahead and built the weapons because they are less interesting. So, I'm going to pop that beam out of the hilt, plug that into the tiny, tiny holder that I just installed, and there you go. That's what it's going to look like from the outside. Neat. There's a little cover to install in here so it can't see that from the outside. And this is just going to slide onto the outside of the forearm once it's finished. So, that's pretty cool. At this point we've got a couple of polycaps to cut out. And these are going to go in the forearm, at the elbow, and the wrist. So, number 6 and number 9. Oops. Wasn't looking and cut off a little too much, so these may not hold in place too well. We'll see. If I ever wind up like breaking or destroying a polycap, it's not too bad. Luckily, there are a whole bunch of Gundam fans online, and a lot of them have access to 3D printers, which I do too. So, some people have put together some 3D models of what these polycaps look like, so you can just make your own if you need to. It's pretty cool. I think we're doing pretty good for time here. We're 40 minutes in. I got a mini lecture about mecha design in, and we're almost done with the entire upper body. Why do you make these so small? Ah. Aha! Victory at sea. No, it fell out. Okay. Now, some say the use of tools is what separates us from the animals, but I've seen monkeys, I've seen crows. They're pretty smart. They use tools. Oh, Sparf, you got 2 Tall Geese models. Which ones do you have, out of curiosity? I mean, if you want, like, I can always build them and send them back to you if you'd like to just have them on your shelf or something. Okay, finally. So for those of you who don't know, Sparf has a sordid history of working on Gundam Wing projects. So he actually voiced Treize Kushunada in a, would you call it an abridged series? Or because I think what you did was before those started becoming a thing, but a gag dub anyway of Gundam Wing, and his Treize Kushunada rules. If you can get him to do it for you at a con or something sometime, you definitely should. It's worth your time. Okay, that's gonna pop it right there. Like that, and let's see. Having a little bit of trouble with this one, but if all else fails, just mash it. Right. Well, it's not quite doing what I wanted to, but oh well. Oh, that's why. Well, I think I put the middle part in of these elbow joints upside down, but I'm not going to let that get in the way of our fun here today. Okay, let's see. So that slides on like that. That's good and secure, and there's a cover for the front of this here somewhere. Okay. It's not looking too bad. Could look a tad better, given the parts that I messed up, but I will fix those off camera. I'm going for speed here right now. So, let's see, I guess the shoulder armor is going to be the next thing. So that has a bunch of little doodads in it. I think unnamed Mecha Goose game, I think that'd be a great idea, Chad. It would just be chaos. now we're starting to get these parts winnowed down to the point where I can actually take a look in the bag and see where all of them are. So, good point to be at. So we're going to be putting tiny little yellow thrusters into the shoulders here. They're apparently each unique, so I'm going to try not to mess them up. But like my tattoo says, nobody's perfect. Oh, never mind, they made it easy. There's only one way each of these can fit in here. I love when they consider the stupid like me. That's so nice of them. Well, Sparf, if you try to paint the your tall geese and it's all spotty and everything, I should show you some of the pictures of my Mercurius from that same line of Gundam wing kits. It sat on my shelf for 10 years after I did a bad paint job of it in high school, not knowing what I was doing and not having the technical skills to do what I thought I was doing. So it looked terrible. It sat on my shelf for 10 years to the point where I couldn't even dust it because the dust had just hardened and calcified on it. It took me running that thing through 24 hours of an alcohol bath. Let's see, I think I did some not green stuff, but I knew I at least did purple power, and I used some kind of green cleaning agent. And finally, the combination of those three eventually got everything off of it. So I wound up fixing it up a little bit and installing new joints and everything, so it's more articulated. And of course, as soon as I did all that, they announced that they were going to release a full version of it, you know, with new technology and everything. So I've got that on order, and my custom build Mercurius is in storage right now. So I may wind up doing some more with that at some point. This is old. Hey, strong bag. You want to build some models with me? I saw an image macro the other day. Not a meme, an image macro. I'm insisting on the terminology. That showed the Homestar Runner logo, which the caption underneath it, my vocabulary is ruined forever. So it is. No two people are the same. No two people are not on fire. Yes, please bring your SNES. I want to play an endless duel because I've never actually gotten to do that. I did have Gundam Battle Assault for the PlayStation and Battle Assault 2. So I did wind up unlocking everything through those, which was pretty awesome. Yeah, real fun stuff. I liked it a lot. I'm pretty bad at fighting games, but those were about my speed. It was a lot of button mashing. Oh yeah, Battle Assault 2 had mostly full voice acting. It was pretty great. And when Trace showed up at the end in the Hydra Gundam, that was neat. So the Hydra Gundam is like, for those of you who weren't playing PS1 Gundam games, the Hydra Gundam is from a Gundam Wing side story comic. So there's no real reason it needed to be in a video game, but it was pretty cool that it was. What the heck? So I'm trying to put these hands together and having a little bit of trouble. Can't tell which one's a right hand and which one's a left hand. So with these high-grade kits, a lot of them you wind up having to build the hands around the around the weaponry. So you can't just like open up the hands, move the fingers and everything just because they're not built that way. But that does mean you get some dedicated trigger finger hands like this one here. So if you're not using the weapon, you can just leave the hand on it. Okay, there we go. Solid as a rock. That's not going anywhere. This has a little, I guess a slide gimmick on here that will fit into the backpack. So I'm just going to go ahead and store that in there now. Yeah, leave those for later. Okay. It does have this really cool beam saber, which I'm probably going to wind up using with it most of the time because it's got a cool little hilt guard on there. Most of them don't have that. Love the shape of the blade. It's not just like a regular cone-shaped one. It has a little blade on the back here. That's pretty neat stuff. So when it's not in use, it winds up plugging into this piece in the backpack right here. So I'm going to leave that out right now, though. I guess if I can find a hand that'll fit it, then we'll do that. Okay, left hand right there. That's a left open hand. Let's see, two right hands here. Two right finger sets, anyway. That's a left hand. Left fingers. And that one is just a closed fist, so it's not going to be able to hold anything. Fist, and these are the last hand pieces here. I'm going to assume that this is the right holding hand. Okay, there we go. Not the most solid hold on there, but not too bad. Alright, well, so what we got here today is we got the upper torso done. So, considering it's 4 minutes to 9, that's my usual time. I'm going to go ahead and call it now, but gang, I had a really good time here. I meant to record this for YouTube. I forgot to hit start recording, so you guys got it live. Anybody watching it on Twitch after the fact, enjoy it for the next 2 weeks. Alright, well, I've had a good time here tonight. Hope you guys have too. Meet you back here next week. We'll finish this thing up, build the legs and build the extra armor parts onto this thing, and that'll be it. We'll move on to probably a master grade kit. I have a master grade Tall Geese 3 that I'm working on. Hopefully that'll be ready to go and ready to build by the time that the stream is ready for it. Alright, well, thank you very much. Have a good night, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.